Hello everybody. Hi, my name is Chris Adams. Quick morning words of wisdom, I guess, or actually, I don't know what this is. I do things just to do things. I hope you're all having a wonderful morning. The main question I was thinking about today is, what is freedom? I believe freedom is purpose, and I feel like I found my purpose. It took a long time though, where I was going from job to job, doing things I completely didn't like. I've worked at many places like coffee shops or restaurants or clothing stores, things that I just did not like, and I didn't feel free at all until recently, where I have a job where I get to edit for comedians, and I get to work in the comedy field, which is a wonderful job. And I finally work with people that it feels like the closest I've ever had to family, other than, actually, ironically, the working at Coffee Bean was the second closest I've ever had, where I felt like I was part of a family, not just a job, and it was a great experience. I stayed there for very long, actually. But what I learned from that experience is purpose is the thing that gives life meaning. So it's not necessarily the money or the other things, the trappings that life offers, but it's having a purpose in life. And that is what I feel I've found. And I've gotten the chance to work for many great comics. I remember early on, because of just working to work, I did end up working with Chris Rock because of a roommate I had at the time, actually. And this is a guy that I would edit videos for him, just for the fun of it, really. And one day he brought a project and he said, "Hey, can you edit this?" And I said, "Absolutely," because I love working. And it ended up being behind the scenes videos for Chris Rock's tour, which was the Kill the Messenger tour at the time, and it became I think the special was called Kill the Messenger. But I was doing the behind the scenes videos for his website. And I learned a lot. And I learned a couple of things from that experience. That, number one, you have to love what you do. And I know that old saying, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. That's not true. If you love what you do, you work even harder, because you found a purpose and a reason to work. And there's freedom in that, even though, yes, you're always going to have bosses. You're always going to have to deal with people that can be annoying. That's just part of life. There's no getting around that. There's no such thing as anyone that's truly free. I mean, even the people that you think of as rich, they have to work like 100 hours just to have their little shiny toys, So if you do truly like what you do, you are going to find that life has more meaning. And that is where the freedom lies. Also, the freedom lies in education. I'm not talking about college, because that's kind of been taken over by idiots, and most college degrees are worthless now. But the education is something you can get for free. You can go to the library. You can go to my buddy Renee just posted right now that you can get a lynda.com free account with your LA library card. So, and that's how I learned how to edit. I got a lynda.com account. I paid for it back in the day. So there's always ways, and there's always things, and there's always resources out there for anyone that actually wants to free themselves from working a job that you hate. But the problem is, it takes sacrifice, and there's actually nothing wrong with that. Sacrifice is one of the greatest things. Yeah, indoctrination college, absolutely, Amber. When I went to college, well, luckily I went to art school, where they were just trying to teach you how to make movies. And yes, there was a little indoctrination there, but that's just part of it, and I'm okay with it at this point. I know what it is, and being older now, I don't easily get indoctrinated. So, but the freedom is reading as much as possible and freeing your mind, because your mind is something that nobody can ever take away from you. Anything else can be taken away: money, your fancy toys, your pretty much anything, right? But what you learn is yours forever, unless you get a stroke, and then who knows? That's a weird joke. But yeah, so always learn. And life is about learning. And to me, that's the purpose of life, is to always better yourself and to try to become better than you were the day before. So find purpose, and I think you're going to find that you are more free than people that just chase shiny things. Because I've seen those people, and they're actually not having as much fun as you would think they would. Some of them, I'm sure, can trick themselves for a while, but it's like doing drugs. When you first do drugs, it's amazing. But very quickly, it's pretty depressing. I don't think people realize that. Like, money is the exact same way. At first, it's dope. If you came from nothing. No, I never took gender studies. I'm not an idiot. When I went to college, none of that stuff existed, thankfully. People were logical back then. Well, I wouldn't say they were logical ever, but they at least were logical we didn't believe that there were a million genders and a million letters of the alphabet and all that stuff. None of us knew what that was, luckily. But anyway, so my point is, try hard at anything you do in life, because that is where the freedom lies. And any addiction is that way. Well, yeah, absolutely. But the chasing stuff is an addiction. Chasing sex, which I used to do in my younger years, is an addiction. And it all becomes very empty. And that's why there's, I think, a rise of antidepressants and drug use, and people are legalizing weed everywhere so that we can all dumb ourselves down and not realize what's actually going on. None of us are freeing ourselves. Instead, we're just trying to distract ourselves from our own feelings, and that's not a good thing. So try hard. I hope everyone has a wonderful morning, and I thank everyone for watching. I got a lot more watches here on Facebook, and I hope this message reaches anyone that needs it. And I just to let you know why I feel like I have some authority is I came from a very difficult life. My mom was a heroin addict pretty much the whole time that she was alive, and I watched what those things do to somebody that I cared about deeply, and I don't want that to happen to anyone else, And I want you all to be able to better yourselves and free yourselves from the things that are making you unhappy. And I know it's possible because I've come out the other side. And I'm not saying that I came out the other side and I'm like always happy. That's ridiculous. That's untrue. Life is always a challenge. But you can free yourself from anything. And it starts up here, and it's very difficult and it takes work, but it is absolutely worth it. So have a wonderful morning, everybody. And I thank you and love you all for watching.